gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Suds News. My name is Vinny, as always, here with my awesome co-host, Angela. And I just want to put it out there that tonight's going to be quite a shorter episode of Suds News for a couple of different reasons.
It's all my fault.
Angela did have some illness issues earlier this weekend, and health-wise, we're just kind of taking it easy. As well as the fact that I didn't get a chance to watch today's episode because of my work obligations. So today's going to be a little shorter than normal. But you know what? We're still going to talk all about the show that we love best, and that, of course, is General Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I just want to say hi to Steve and Susan in the chat. And it looks like Kaiwan came on last night and put a comment in the chat. So if Kaiwan is watching, welcome as well to the chat. And welcome, Jeannie. Just at a loss. I saw it this morning about Tony Geary, and 2025 has took so many legends from us.
I cannot. This weekend was like literally one from hell.
Yeah.
For the world. I mean, I had to have emergency surgery, but aside from that, the world.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my thing was nothing and it was great. And I wasn't actually like in danger of death or anything. But I mean, the shooting at the beach, the shooting at the school, then the deaths of Rob Reiner and his wife. And then this morning I'm writing articles about Rob Reiner and his wife, and the news about Anthony Geary comes out. I'm like, I can't. This year has to be over. It has to end. I have to be done with this.
Yeah. I mean, we've lost so many figures, iconic figures this year alone.
Yeah.
And, you know, about Tristan Rogers and Anthony Geary passing away within months of each other.
Yeah, Leslie Charleston, Denise Alexander, Chris Robinson. I mean, GH has just had the hits.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
The amount of tragedy that happened this weekend. And, you know, for as much as we want to be an entertainment show, it's hard not to talk about the losses that we've had.
It's part of it. It's, you know, it's part of loving these actors is mourning them when they leave us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the show must go on, as they say, and we will be talking all about General Hospital. I do want to go ahead and thank all of the awesome subscribers to our YouTube channel. We've hit 700 subscribers, so thank you so much. We're going to keep on trucking until we get to that 1,000. But either way, if you want to help support the show, you can go ahead and give us a super chat or a super thanks. We have that little button on the bottom that has the $sign in it. If you hit that and you send us whatever you want to, you can help support the show so that we can bring you more stuff that we love to do to entertain you, bring you the interviews and so on and so forth. Like we just had with Mike Manning a couple of weeks ago. I am going to be breaking down the podcast-a-thon into the interviews that we had on there and putting those up and running up on the RSS feed because they're already up on the YouTube channel. Feel free to go back and watch those. And you can also buy our merch. Go to our merch shop, which you can find right on our YouTube channel, part of it. But also go to merch.suds-media.com. You could buy yourself a little cuddle buddy like this if you want to. It's a teddy bear with our logo on it. Or T-shirts or hats or what have you. They're all up there. And still, if you buy a doggy bandana or a doggy cuddle buddy from our merch shop, the proceeds go to support Samantha's Friends, which is a noble cause, helping all the all the service animals getting trained and rehomed if necessary, and placed with veterans and first responders. So check those out as well. I do want to say we did have an interesting comment on last week's episode from the John Talks Everything podcast, and so last week we ended up going off on a tangent and talking about some pop culture stuff, and we were talking about zombies and everything, and you know what? Sometimes it happens. We were talking about our new show coming up, the Pop Culture Time Machine, and we ended up going into a tangent, and it happens. But you know what? Either way, you were entertained. You got the gist of it. John Talks Everything podcast left a comment saying, "OMG, I thought this was a GH podcast. My God, and it's been 30 minutes of zombies and movies talk. So come on now and talk GH for once."
Talk GH for
but you know what? Sometimes you go off on tangents, and it happens. And you know what? It happens because if we get talking about something and we're talking about some more content,
right? It's a live show. Conversations just kind of happen.
Exactly.
Talk about GH for once. We mainly talk about GH, and it's okay if we veer off a little bit.
Yes.
Every once in a while.
John Talks Everything podcast has been a big commenter on a lot of our channels or a lot of our episodes. And
there's irony in somebody with that name.
Yes.
Commenting that, right?
Agreed. If you talk everything, you should be well versed in talking everything.
Right? I guess.
Sorry. Either way, we thank you for the support. John Talks Everything podcast. But anyways, we are this is the episode of General Hospital. As you can tell, Angela is still a little bit under the weather, so we're going to take it easy on her today. Welcome to the chat, Donna. Obviously, our hearts, our love, our condolences go out to Tony Geary's husband, as well as the family and friends of the Reiners. Again, that it was just one after another that was just tragedies this weekend.
Just horrific. And Tony apparently, like the day before his death, he filmed something with goodness, I am so sorry, guys. Anders Hove for another project, the guy who played Cesar Faison.
Wow.
Tony wasn't sick. Apparently, he had a medical procedure and something went wrong. Yesterday, his husband posted just a picture of him doing needle-pointed, video of himself doing needle-pointed home with the cat hanging out. So this was very unexpected.
It was.
Even though he was 78, it was very unexpected. And it's so tragic.
It really is. Jeannie says that she's handing you some water and cough syrup.
I've already taken cough syrup and water. This is the horrible part about. So I had my gallbladder out, laparoscopic surgery, yada yada. It was whatever, and it was fine. But I still have a little bit of cough from that cold I had a few weeks ago. From the flu I had a few weeks ago, and that hurts. I'm not even taking pain meds. I'm only taking Motrin and Tylenol. It's all I've taken pretty much since I woke up, and that's been fine. But the cough is killing me. I'm like, this cough has got to stop.
Yeah, no, I get it. Believe me.
Donna brought up pulling the bitches.
Donna brought up that Jeannie Francis felt his death, and I'm gonna go ahead if I can find it. She did post on Twitter regarding his death.
Just posted something as well. I'm actually working on an article about Jeannie Francis's tribute to him, and I got the one from Frank and ABC Daytime. They emailed it to me that I'm doing those as well. I'm just a little slow today with the everything.
It happens. But for those of you who are not on Twitter, Jeannie Francis posted this earlier today and said, it's a 4-parter. It says, this morning I woke up and went into my husband's arms. In my sleep, my life was flashing before me, and I was afraid of death. An hour later, I received a call from Frank Valentini. He told me Tony died. I immediately felt remorse. I hadn't spoken to him in years, but I felt his life end in my sleep last night, and with it, a big part of me and mine. He was a powerhouse as an actor, shoulder to shoulder with the greats. No star burned brighter than Tony Geary. He was one of a kind. As an artist, he was filled with a passion for the truth, no matter how blunt or even a little rude it might be, but always hilariously funny. He was the anti-hero, always so irreverent, but even the most conservative had to smile. Working with him was always exciting. You never knew what might happen. He spoiled me for leading men for the rest of my life. I am crushed. I will miss him terribly, but I was so lucky to be his partner. Somehow, somewhere, we are connected to each other because I felt him leave last night. Good night, sweet prince. Good night. And that's from Jeannie Francis, at Jeannie Francis on Twitter.
You should see what Kin posted as well, because he quote tweeted her and said that he kind of had a similar experience, which was very weird.
Let me check, because I did not see that. Okay,
yeah,
so yeah,
I think he just recently did it.
Yeah, just a few hours ago, I see. This is from @King Shriner on Twitter. I too was hit with GH Dream last night, and that I tried to explain until I got the call. Tony was saying goodbye to both of us. Again, very, and Jeannie said it in the chat. Very, very eerie. And it happens when you're close to somebody.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are connected through souls, connected through a lot of stuff. People that are empaths and able to. I mean, my father passed away earlier this year, and it happens to kids a lot, but my niece, who's 2 years old, at the time that my father passed away, miles and miles away in the hospital, and my niece said, "Bye, Pop Pop," out of nowhere. And
wow.
It's like my sister called me and said, yeah, she said that, and they told me his time of death, and it was just right then. So it happened, to people that are connected.
Sorry. I'm here. I'm engaged in this. I'm sorry. I'm so
it's quite all right. So like I said, tonight's going to be just a very short episode. It's not going to be too long. It's not going to be one of our big hour and a half marathons. Next week we will. Next week is Christmas.
We'll do what you guys will have us for as long as you want. We'll be here talking about everything.
Exactly. But tonight we want to at least come on to acknowledge Tony Geary's passing. The icon of daytime, Luke Spencer. And, I know that
Maurice Bernard said that without Tony, without Luke, there would not be daytime anymore. And there definitely wouldn't be General Hospital.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the Luke and Laura storyline and the wedding that brought in ratings records at that point in time that still stand to this day and will never be broken. You're right. The soap genre could have been over by then.
Yeah.
As let alone General Hospital.
Yep. Absolutely. Without a doubt. So he was a titan in our genre.
He was. And it sucks that up until recently there was it sucks that just recently the character of Luke Spencer was surrounded in controversy to the point where ABC didn't want to bring the character back. And it's a testament to Tony Geary and Jeannie Francis how they played those scenes that made them so good. And I'm sorry, but I don't like the idea of feeling like, a character is all the way bad because of actions they took in the past that are no longer acceptable.
Well, I mean, I hadn't heard that they didn't want him back. I had heard that they didn't want to bring Todd back, but I hadn't heard anything about them not wanting to bring Luke because I mean, they've always, anytime he was willing to come back, they've jumped on it. He hasn't wanted to come back full time, but like he came back for when Jane Elliott had first retired and stuff like that. I hadn't heard. I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm just saying I hadn't heard that about them not wanting him back. I know that he was pretty done and didn't want to sorry, my sister is messaging.
I get that it's a complicated issue. I just feel like, there's a time, I think our society's gotten to the point where everything is looked at with a fine-tooth comb, and stuff that happened in a bygone era are now judged based on today's standards, which is completely wrong.
True, but at the same time, rape's bad now too. You know what I mean? It's not like, that's the thing, is that rape is bad now too. It's not like it's like, I have conversations with my kids and, like during the 2016 election, my daughter and I got into it about don't ask, don't tell. And I'm like, you can't judge things from a different generation. And rape, it was bad then too, which is why they rewrote it and said that it was a seduction and tried to pretend that it didn't happen, and then went back and said, yeah, it did. We're not going to do this. So it was always bad. And I mean, Tony Geary talked about how at like events and stuff, fans would yell, Luke raped me. And it really bothered him as it should have, because that's just a special kind, not a special kind of, that's just a, please seek help to, say something like that. Oh God. But it's General Hospital. Anthony Geary, he was supposed to be a short-term character. He was supposed to die at the end of that arc.
Wow.
And and then they're like, oh my God, we had Luke rape her. Now what? We're keeping the guy. What do we do? So they rewrote it as a seduction, to make it okay that they, or to try anyway. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, I think, all around that entire situation.
And by no means am I condoning
rape. Of course not. I would never in a million years think, and I did not mean to imply that if I did.
No, and I'm not saying you did. I just don't want people that may be watching thinking that I'm quote unquote, defending a rapist or whatever. What I'm saying is that sometimes storylines happen, and storylines were a lot edgier back then. Yeah. So it has to be taken with where it was.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, without a doubt. And yes, it was soap fans today could not.
No, absolutely not.
There's no, well, I mean, one, they couldn't even handle how long storylines went on.
No, exactly.
For the love of God, these don't even get me started. I could do an hour on how much today's soap fans annoy me.
It's the same with wrestling. It's the same with wrestling. I could tell you stories. Last night, and I did an entire TikTok live about about the retirement of John Cena in his final match, and how the internet wrestling community is having a meltdown because Cena went out the right way. So I get it.
Yeah, it's such an okay boomer thing from me, but I'm just like, today's kids could never.
Yeah,
but that's just how it is. But yeah, it definitely was a different time, and there's no way they could do that story today.
No, not at all.
There's no way they could do the story today. There's no way that today's audience would accept the switch to seduction because of Great Chem. So that, those things are definitely different as well. I just Tony was a very different person than Luke was.
Yes.
And I mean, Tony wanted Luke's exit to be him killing himself. He wanted Luke to shoot himself in the head. He
Wow.
did not think that he did not want Luke to be remembered as a hero or a good guy. He wanted him to have a cowardly exit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, and to
that's
be
it.
frank, he was an anti-hero. And
Yeah.
if you look at
He was the original anti-hero,
yeah,
honestly. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe Victor Newman was one before him, but he wasn't near as bad as Luke was at the beginning.
right.
You know?
And you could look at the character of Luke Spencer, and he had, a lot of obviously memorable scenes, memorable stories, but, thinking back to, I think that a lot of stuff happened, and the arc where Luke had to confront his past, had to confront his upbringing, had to confront the fact that he killed his father.
Yeah.
And, just that arc right there, I feel, was a redemption arc for the end of the character of Luke Spencer.
Maybe. I mean, without, I'm sure, yes. It's just that it was never what Geary wanted. He didn't think that he could. Give me 1 second. My sister's bringing me food. You go ahead and talk. You can get a word in
there. But yeah, and I agree. Donna, for some, non-soap fan on Twitter wanted to know how no fans question the rape. I think it's because back then, at least, there was no social media. Social media didn't exist, so you didn't have the consistent questioning of stories, the consistent questioning of, oh my God, the historian forgot about this thing and all that, which gets on my fucking nerves.
Oh my God, I want to throat punch people when they say shit like that, because one, usually they're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yep.
Usually they're talking out their ass and don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. But go ahead, keep it up, and your fucking girl will go ahead and get fucking eye lice again. Keep it up.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like people watch, especially during daytime. Now, I didn't get into daytime till much later, so I couldn't. I can't speak for the viewing audience for specifically daytime, but the viewing audience for shows back in the day used to watch stuff and take them as entertainment, take them as storytelling. You know what I mean? It wasn't just, oh my God.
It was a time, one of the things about the 80s, music, movies, TV, there was always, there's always going to be things that, delivered a message, and those things are needed. But there's also nothing wrong with entertainment for entertainment's sake.
Correct.
There just isn't. Not everything has to be a very special episode. Not everything has to be a PSA. And I get that soaps have always been on the forefront of, illnesses and social issues. And I get that. But you know what? Sometimes cancer is going to be cured by a true love's kiss on a soap opera. And that is just how it fucking goes. Sorry. It just is. And it's how it should go, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I am okay with that. And it's sometimes on soap operas, you're going to get Monica's breast cancer storyline. And sometimes on soap operas, you're going to get a diamond that controls a weather machine that can freeze the world.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of this genre we love so much.
Exactly.
And it's okay for an escapist hour. Sorry. I'll get off the soapbox.
You're absolutely right. Catching up on the chat, Jeannie says that on Days, EJ and Sammy was a rape storyline, I believe. Donna says Michelle Valjean wrote the revisitation to the rape. That I need to hear, because I didn't know anything about that.
in the 90s, when Lucky got older.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Yes.
she's talking about, is when
Okay.
they confronted it all in the 90s. And the thing with Luke is that the one redemption of Luke is how much he loved his children. I'm not even going to say how much he loved Laura, because that's whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Loving your significant other is that's a mutual, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a purer love, a deeper love, a less
Right.
selfish love,
Yes.
that, with your kids. And that man loved his children, and his son worshiped him.
Yeah.
And for them, that stuff was just, oh my God. I mean, it was art. It really was. The stuff with Lucky and Luke, the stuff with Lucky and Laura.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were really pissed at him about that. But I mean, Lucky was pissed at both of his parents because he felt like everything he had been told about this great love story was a lie.
Yeah.
And it was very, very well handled on all ends, I thought. It was great how they did it. So,
Um. So Steve says in the chat, it wasn't the first rape on GH either.
oh no.
So I mean, I would assume that there
Mm-hmm.
were other rape stories previous to it. It's just
Oh
this
yeah.
happened to be the most
Yeah.
well known.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it
Um.
was just because, I mean, it wasn't the first rape story. It was just such how it kicked off that super couple. You know what I mean?
Right.
We hadn't really seen that, and we never will again.
Right.
But I mean, Alan raped Monica.
Really, I did not
Yeah,
know that.
it was a very violent scene, and they can't. I don't know if they ever really worked through all of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was it happened. It happened. You're not having it. My sister just brought me some chicken palm from my brothers, and these dogs are like, "Oh, we have chicken palm." No, we have nothing. I'm gonna put a blanket over it. They're killing me. Sorry.
No,
And of course, they're right here on the bed with me. It's not like when I'm over at my desk. Stop it! Don't
of
make me get
course.
a water bottle. I'll get a spray bottle and spray you. So yeah, I mean, General Hospital, it's just, the difference with it is that it like was the kickoff of a love story, one of the biggest in soap opera history.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there was that. Makes it a little different, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. It does make it a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Donna says writers were the auteurs of soaps, and the producing side didn't have as much sway back then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't want they trusted their writers to begin with more. And back then, soaps were paying the bills.
Yeah.
In the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, soap operas were paying for primetime shows. You know what I mean? They were a lot cheaper to make than the
Mm-hmm.
primetime shows were. And they, brought in great advertising money.
Yep.
And they really, I mean, they were like a casino. It was a license to print money for the networks. That's why they had so many of them.
Yeah. No, you're
And
right.
and they helped finance the primetime slots.
Yeah.
So they had a lot more leeway.
Yeah. And folks that are just tuning in, I know the title of this says "Escape Prisoner Hides Out at Spencer Household." We were going to do obviously our normal whole show regarding obviously this week in General Hospital, as we always do. However, due to a number of circumstances, one being Angela's, emergency surgery over the weekend, and the death of Anthony Geary, I've decided to make a pivot. I didn't get a chance to redo the thumbnail, so next week we'll return to normal General Hospital news and show updates and everything. This week, we figured, you know what, especially with the news of Anthony Geary passing away, it's going to be more of a nostalgia episode and talking about, just stuff regarding General Hospital. So,
let me tell you, it's been so horrifying. Do you know what I've spent today doing? Watching the series Welcome to Derry. Because I'm like, this will be less horrifying than what's happening in real life right now.
Agreed. Believe me, I can understand that.
Yeah. Like, I need some fake horror.
Ugh. Yeah.
Ow.
And hey, Chad, welcome to the chat. You're always welcome to come in. Very sad news indeed about Tony G and Rob Reiner. TG made Luke this force, this larger than life character, and that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
It actually came out today that Tony Geary and Rob Reiner were actually in an episode of All in the Family together. Before Tony Geary got onto General Hospital. Obviously Rob Reiner played a character on the show, Meathead.
And Tony played Meathead's friend. Played a friend of Meathead's on the episode.
Right.
Who was like real liberal and, more so than Meathead was. And
to see them both pass away, totally different circumstances, but and like a half a world away from each other on the same day at the very same age as well, 78 years old.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. And to see, Leslie Charleston and Tristan Rogers and Denise Alexander and Tony Geary
Chris Robinson all the same year.
Calendar year. Our icon, the 1980s in general have taken such a hit this year. Even going to Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan and, the rest of the Malcolm Jamal Warner,
Right? Like, seriously, I need this year to be over. I cannot. I can't. I don't know. Another hit might send me over. And I'm usually not as, sensitive about this, but oh God.
Steve says God is casting his own soap up there.
Yeah, right? And that's real good, but sir, please. And I guess Rob will be directing it.
Yes.
Rob can direct. It's just, oh God, I
can't. Chad says GH has just had so many devastating losses, and so is the entertainment world. On Dockside at the Bay, Kim and I, our show that we do on Thursdays, Kim and I are on season 7 of The Bay. So if you're not watching The Bay, you should be. But we're on season 7 right now, and a lot of these scenes have both Jackie Zeman and Tristan Rogers together in the scenes and going back and forth, and to see them in the same scenes, having this dialogue, it's a massive class, and you're, the fact they're both gone now is heartbreaking.
Yeah. It is.
But yeah, so there's, and Chad says, I was just saying Tristan's probably inviting Tony into heaven with a smile, and Tony's bringing the wine to the party, and Jackie is there waiting to invite him with a hug.
Yes. They're having a good scotch right now.
Yeah, exactly. And we know Days lost Drake Hogeston last year. Our 80s icons are,
I tell you what, they better be like tucking My Victor Newman in like cotton every night. Like Eric Braeden needs to see 2026 or Angela's going,
Exactly.
going to be going nutty here because
I mean,
I'm
on a
just
good
like,
side, on a good note, Dick Van Dyke just hit 100.
Dick Van Dyke 100. It was great. I was very happy to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dick Van Dyke did hit 100 and he is like thriving. He like still goes and works out and stuff.
Yeah.
God love him.
Exactly. Hi, Aisha. Welcome to the chat. And Aisha says I got a kick out of Luke calling Carly Caroline.
Yes.
I mean, but Luke had names for everybody. Luke had
Yeah.
called, I loved how he called Tracy Spanky.
Yep.
He
Spanky
called,
Buns. And
he called
Lucky was Cowboy.
Lucky was Cowboy. He called Emma. I'm sorry, not Emma. Holly English.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Laura was Angel.
Laura. Yep. Sky was Red. Yep. Thank you.
And Barbara Jean. He
Yeah.
liked to call his sister Barbara Jean.
And the crush that Alice had on Luke was hilarious. I loved it.
Yep.
Alexis was Natasha, of course. But yeah, just such fond memories of the character of Luke Spencer. And go on. You were about to say something.
Laura Wright just posted her tribute. And she said, one of my first scenes with Tony, we were in Kelly's, and he said, just so you know, I like to chuggle, tap dance, and sing all at the same time. And I laughed and said, let's go. I grew up watching the incredible Luke Spencer. I fell in love with Daytime because I fell in love with Luke and Laura. My heart is so, so sad. Daytime lost the one that changed it all. R.I.P. Yeah.
We also got tributes from Antonio Sabato Jr., John Stamos.
John Stamos. Yeah.
Frank Valentini, of course, with a touching tribute. Morgan Fairchild, all the heavy hitters of Daytime and Daytime News.
I'm waiting to see Jonathan Jackson's. I have a feeling that one's going to take me out.
He hasn't posted anything on social media since August. So
on his Instagram, he posted a few days ago.
Oh, I was just looking.
He posts on his Instagram more than on his Twitter. Yeah. He posted just like 3 days ago on his Instagram, lighting a candle for Palestine or something. So.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And I did, obviously, Bradford Anderson. I saw Sean Kanan posted a video. But
these men who are leading men now, grew up at Tony Geary's knee.
Yeah.
They all started as very young actors, and he's one of the first legends. Even though some of them, like Steve Burton worked on a movie with Robert Redford, and Sean Kanan worked with Bruce Willis, and other big actors, but the first legend they met, the first one they learned from was Tony Geary.
Yeah. Exactly. Chad says, beautiful sentiments from Laura. Been reading a few of the other ones. You had a huge impact on the Daytime community. You can see how beloved he was.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's heartbreaking in general. But
I can't even imagine. His husband's and his husband makes a post. It's gonna take me out too, because he's Tony didn't have social media, but his husband did.
Yeah.
And he kept us connected to him for all these years that he retired. He, showed us little snippets of their life in Amsterdam, and Tony living his authentic self.
Yeah. When I do end this and post it, I'm gonna go ahead and change the title to Nostalgia Episode Celebrating the Life of Tony Geary. Next week we'll be back.
The other one, yeah.
Yeah, next week we'll get back to our normal General Hospital recaps
Mhm.
because of this heartbreaking news, and um,
Yeah.
just had to take this time to celebrate the life of Tony Geary. So, folks,
Yes.
we're going to end it right here, right now. No ads on this episode because it's not about that. We still want your support, but at the same time, we
Yeah.
had to celebrate the life and times of Anthony Geary, who, if it wasn't for that, we probably wouldn't be here with a
No.
show. Um,
And this is my fault. I asked him to do a short one tonight because I'm like, I'm gonna start coughing real bad, and then nobody.
LJ did ask, when did Tony Geary retire, and Donna answered 2015.
I was gonna say, 2015. He had retired.
So,
Yep.
but folks, I want to thank you all for your support. Thank you for coming on to watch us, whether you're watching on X or on YouTube. Go ahead and hit the like button on this episode. Hit the subscribe as well, and turn on the notification bells. And go ahead and leave us a super chat or super thanks if you want to help support the network. But folks, we will be back next Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, with a regular episode to talk all about this past year or this past week, I should say, and next week of General Hospital, because there is a lot to go over, but
Yes.
we had to just take a moment. Yeah.
Yes. And hopefully I'll be out of this bed. So I'm in my bed.
All right, folks. For Angela, I'm Vinny. We'll see you back next week with Suds News. Have a great night, everybody.
Night, guys.